After retaking Whiteholm Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of the line of Glenbrook sweeps the kingdom. Yet not everyone is quick to welcome Roland back with open arms. Life under Aesfrosti rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime. Roland's absence, it seems, made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
So that is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriot and his royalists cozied up to Aesfrost in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriot much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly, without interrupting the people's lives.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
But all the while, he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait, does he intend to march on Hyzante next?
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific, but the goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Aesfrost. Not anymore. He said it will all be over once the death knell is ready.
What is this death knell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles. Valis claimed it is powerful enough to break through the goddess's shield.
To think Aesfrost is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
So much for their reign of peace. Taking over Glenbrook was only the first move in a bigger gambit to seize the source.
I am disturbed to learn of Gustadolf's plan. But rebuilding our capital must take priority.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and discuss how best to proceed from there. House Wolffort will lend whatever aid you need.
Thank you, Serenoa. But since you are one of their saintly 7 now, I'd ask you to keep an eye on Hyzante as well.
Cordelia? Apologies. A brief spell of dizziness.
I have been looking everywhere for you, Your Highness.
Patriot.
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries are still healing. Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia. Rest now. Leave everything to me.
All right.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzante and see what aid they can give us. Was there anything of note besides damage?
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's returned. Aesfrost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. And a damn good one at that. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability, instead of their birthright.
Just as in Aesfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us, since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriot, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke. I do not believe we can trust him.
Distinguished members of House Wolffort, how hard you are all working to rebuild our capital. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great honor visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks, myself included, of course. We are so grateful for House Wolffort's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem. His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Aesfrost. But the people have had their fill of war. And I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with... I only beg you take every care going forward.
A warning.
Even so, there is naught we can do but focus on rebuilding.
Indeed. Let us return to the king and apprise him of our progress.
I would walk the city with Gila a bit longer and speak with the people.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
Master Archibald, is there something on your mind?
Goddess be good. I must be getting on in years for you to be able to sneak up on me like that.
What troubles you?
I was only reminiscing. Indeed, days like these tend to blow my mind back a couple of decades or more.
Reminiscing about what?
The Saltiron War. Hard to believe it's been 30 whole years. Some days I almost forget my time as one of the Saintly Seven. I defended the Citadel of Sand through the conflict. I was there when Aesfrost attacked. A number of Rosellan prisoners who tried to escape the source were there too, including Our Lady Frederica's dear mother.
What's this?
She stayed behind all by herself to help the countless numbers of her fellow Roselle flee, but I knew we couldn't hold the Citadel. So I helped her and her friends escape in secret before the enemy attacked. The wind blew just as hard that night as it's blowing now. I'll never forget watching the Roselle, caked all over in mud as they slipped away into the dark.
So you didn't want innocents to get caught up in the coming battle?
It never settled right with me. The way the goddess's teachings permitted abuse of the Roselle for the supposed sins of their past. A person's life isn't worth more or less just because of the conditions of their birth. But more than anything, I was moved by the selfless acts of Lady Frederica's mother. She reminded me of what I had once aspired to be. She was able to do what I never could. Risk her life to save her friends. I couldn't let someone like that die. Not on my watch. It wasn't long until the other Saintly Seven discovered what I'd done. They branded me a traitor, stripped me of my title, and sentenced me to death. Of course, I slipped out of their clutches before they could have my head. I wandered for a while before taking up life as a merchant under the King of Glenbrook's patronage.
I never knew you and Lady Frederica's mother shared such a past.
Well, it is in the past. Anyway, let us return. This cold night wind is making my old bones ache something fierce.
What's so urgent you can't let a man sleep?
Nothing less than the completion of my groundbreaking research, Eridor.
Oh. Well now, that is something.
Indeed it is. I've managed to thermodynamically stabilize the quasi-liquid film forming on the surface of the...
Yes, I've heard all that. Now tell it to me in words a man can understand.
Right. Well, in layman's terms, I have created ice that never melts.
See how simple... Did you say ice that never melts? That's mighty impressive and all, but what actual good does that do anyone?
My dear, sweet, simple Eridor. We can use my creation to forge weapons with no need for iron.
Sounds useful, if it works as you say. But how's the durability?
Silly soldier. Do you take me for a fool? Of course I tested their durability. Worry not. A prototype shall arrive shortly. I bid you try it out for yourself. For better or worse, you're the most experienced soldier I know. And so I'd have you handle it first.
That sounds big and important. I reckon I'll take you up on it.
What news? Surely it's finished by now.
Afraid not. I come bearing unfortunate news from the smithy. It seemed plenty sturdy at first, but shattered the moment he took a hammer to it. He says it has a long way to go before it can be used in place of iron, I'm afraid.
Preposterous! My calculations were impeccable. Surely I have not forsaken my homeland in pursuit of a fool's errand.
That's all a bit dramatic, isn't it? You can't have a breakthrough without breaking a couple of ice blades. You know what'd wash away all that pain? A nice cold glass of spirits. Spirits? That's it! That unmelted ice of yours could chill him forever, could it not? Groundbreaking indeed. This invention of yours could still take the world by storm.
And I reckon the army'd have use for it as well. It'd keep our rations from going off. Weapons be damned. You've done very important work.
The fact remains that my calculations were in error. So forgive me my reluctance to.
Less sulking, more drinking. You succeeded, haven't you? Right then, this'll be my treat, and I won't be turning in till you do.
Very well. Scientific breakthroughs never come easily, I suppose. Perhaps my next experiment shall be seeing how many rounds my everlasting ice can chill. Right then, to the encampment with us. 'Tis time for a drink or three.
That's the spirit. Just promise me I won't have to haul your drunken ass home this time.
There are more who accepted Aesfrost's rule than I imagined.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change. Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful. For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
Perhaps, but his freedom was naught but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolffort messenger! Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolffort, bearing tidings of Lord Simo.
Has he awakened?
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well. And he is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolffort so he can honor you himself.
Oh, I must bring these glad tidings to Serenoa at once. How long it has been since I've seen him smile.
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady, but it is not so happy.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolffort domain?
Bandits are laying waste to the Rosellan village. To our shame, Castle Wolffort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenoa's wisdom in this matter.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rosellan village defenseless.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
Well, well. Things are about to get interesting.
The coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on right now.
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith, besides which it is the royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be, and right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now, I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolffort will see your subjects shan't go hungry. But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory so much as announcing the return of Regna's rightful heir. To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol. You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. We will assume that burden. After all, you have only just been crowned.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriot. That is my command.
As you wish, King Roland.
How fare things, Suette? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzante, but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriot and the Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
Damn those Royalists! They cannot be left to their own devices.
House Wolffort and Minister Exham's forces have reclaimed the Crown City. And not only that, they have dealt a heavy blow to the Aesfrosti forces in killing Thalys and other commanding officers.
We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
Oh, to see Gustadolf's face when he hears the news. Now he'll have no choice but to come crawling to us on hands and knees, begging for salt. Though, this could be our chance to crush the duchy once and for all.
Just because they're licking their wounds does not make them easy prey. They still have their iron, after all.
Ha! Iron? We can get iron. All we need do is make Glenbrook hand over the Grand Norzelian mines to us. A paltry price to pay for our bountiful aid in their restoration of the Crown City.
The Grand Norzelian mines. The spark that lit the flame of Aesfrost's aggression. But why go through the trouble to seize an iron source when they have all the iron they could ever need? I should have Milo look into the matter.
Minister Idor?
Well, regardless, we control the salt. I say we bide our time until Aesfrost admits they are defeated. Besides, Glenbrook seeks our aid in their reconstruction efforts, do they not?
Yes. King Roland and Minister Serenoa have both asked for help, and sent reports detailing the extent of the damage to the Crown City.
Send forth a veritable bounty. To Minister Serenoa of the Saintly Seven, that is.
Ah, yes. A show of the goddess's grace to the people, and as a wedge to drive between him and the king.
Aesfrost, Glenbrook. They will both be ours before long.
Thank you all for helping to determine the extent of the damage to the capital. This information will be invaluable as we proceed with reconstruction. There is also happy word from Castle Wolffort. My Lord Father is awake. They say he is recovering apace and is already up and walking.
Those are glad tidings indeed.
He says he would like to see us and hear of all that has passed while he was taken ill.
Then what are we waiting for? I'll saddle the horses.
Would that we could depart at once, but the messenger brought another piece of news.
Bandits plague the outskirts of the Rosellan village.
Jerome and his folk are there. They can handle a few mangy thieves, surely.
Not according to the messenger. The bandits are proving a formidable foe.
Which is why they have asked us for aid.
Apologies for my tardiness. It's sudden, I know, but I must ask you a favor.
What is it?
I suspect Patriot and his royalists of filching relief supplies.
We've no proof it's them, but the fact remains. The people in most need of those goods are not receiving them.
The matter warrants investigating at the very least, and I would ask for Wolffort's assistance.
I see. Well, we were just discussing what we ought to do next. Allow me to explain the 3 courses of action before us. 1. Return to Castle Wolffort as my Lord Father requests. 2. Defend the Rosellan village from bandits. Or 3. Remain in the capital to investigate the royalists.
Lord Simon has recovered. What splendid news. If I could only go to him myself and thank him for all House Wolffort has done. But I cannot leave the capital in the throes of a possible scandal. Too many hold the royal family in contempt as it is.
That may be the case, but now that Lord Simon has awoken, someone must make sure he is healthy and apprise him of recent events. I would go to Castle Wolffort, Lord Serenoa, if it pleases you.
My heart breaks for the Rosellan village. Let me go to its defense, even if I must go alone.
I cannot allow that. It's far too dangerous a task for one person.
Well, I would have the Wolffort soldiers with me, of course. Besides, do you recall our first meeting?
Of course I do. You were being assailed by rogues at the port.
If you hadn't been there, who knows what would have become of me. But I am not as weak now as I was then. I am stronger, enough that I shall bring no dishonor to House Wolffort's name. My lord, have faith in me. Let me do this.
Very well.
It seems best that Benedict, Frederica, and I each attend to these pressing matters, separately.
Indeed, but the rest of us cannot be in 3 places at once. We can only choose one path to take. Bring the scales of conviction.
Listen, lad. You're onto something.
Lord Serenoa. Even so, I need time.
Good point. Okay.
It is time to cast our votes. We have 3 options before us. Return to the Wolffort domain, depart to the Rosellan village, or stay in the capital. Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
My apologies.
I have faith in you.
You won me over.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen. The way forward is decided. We march to the Rosellan village and drive the bandits from the surrounding woods. I shall accompany Frederica to defend the Rosellan village. I know not what the bandits are after, but I cannot allow them to run rampant over the land.
Thank you, Serenoa. I am heartened to have you by my side.
Very well. Fulfill your duty to your domain. I shall see to things in the capital.
Then I shall venture to the Wolffort domain and make our report to Lord Simon in your stead.
And this is farewell for now. King Roland, Benedict, until our reunion in the capital.
Here we are, the Rosellan village.
Right! Just where that book we swiped from the archives pointed us. Ooh, you catch a whiff of that? Smells like treasure to me. Calling this hovel a village does a disservice to villages. We'll find that fortune soon enough.
Hold it, Trish. Maybe we'd best leave this treasure be.
Having second thoughts, Pa? Knees buckling at the thought of a little bloodshed?
Now just shut up and use your head for a bit, girl. You know the story of this village as well as I, how they fled from the cruelty of Hyzante. Seems to me we have more than a bit in common with these folk. I don't wish to cause them any more suffering than is necessary.
You're getting soft in your old age, Pa. All right, have it your way. We'll give him a little scare, grab the treasure, and be on our way.
But there's one more. My damn back is still acting up. Not enough rest since the last job. Might be even worse than last time, as a matter of fact.
Did you go to sleep and wake up an old crone? Put your weapon in your hand and get moving! The likes of us only get one chance to grab fate by the horns. And this is ours! Wasn't it you who taught us to take what we can, because the world ain't in the habit of giving?
I know, but I...
You know what? I don't want to hear your bleating. Go rest if you need it, because I don't need you. Me and the boys will handle the treasure hunting.
Wait, Trish! Damn back.
The members of House Wolffort, having earned momentary respite after reclaiming the capital, decide to go their own ways. Roland remains in the capital to deal with his political opponents. Benedict returns to Castle Wolffort to visit the ailing Lord Simon. Serenoa and Frederica, having received reports from Jerome of bandits in the Rozellan village, depart to investigate.
Ah, Lord Serenoa, Lady Frederica. Glenbrook is as prosperous as it ever was. And I hear we have you two to thank for it.
Glenbrook owes its return to prosperity to many, Jerome. I only hope this marks the beginning of a journey toward peace.
As do I. So, what brings you to our humble village this day?
We've received word that you've been having trouble with bandits.
And you came all the way here personally? Truly, I am moved.
You're under the protection of House Wolffort. I'm only doing my duty.
Of course. As a matter of fact, we have sighted bandits skulking about in the woods. Fortunately, they seem to be content with that.
I'm glad no one has come to harm.
For now, my lady. Doubtless they are probing our defenses for weaknesses. Although they've yet to bare their fangs, I feel their gaze on my back from time to time.
Bandits aren't known for planning ahead, but there's a first time for everything. I suggest we look into this, my lord.
I agree. If indeed there are bandits lurking about, we should flush them out or drive them away.
That would be much appreciated, my lord. We've sent out our own search parties, but with you by our side, the work will go all the quicker. However, I understand your recent days have been filled with strife, and you've journeyed far. Allow us one night to treat your arrival with the pomp it deserves.
Thank you, Jerome. I would welcome a night free from worry.
Then we shall prepare a feast. I look forward to hearing stories of your heroic exploits.
I've got a few of those. All it'll cost you is a few draughts of ale.
The villagers seem to be in high spirits. I hope the bandits have been scared off for good.
As do I. It was surprising to see that despite everything, the lives of most haven't changed a bit.
I cannot help but wonder what drew their attention in the first place, however.
You don't think it had something to do with the salt crystals, do you?
How would they know? Hyzante protects that information more fiercely than the goddess herself.
Then, perhaps in their desperation, they've stooped to capturing and selling the Roselle to Hyzante.
No. I won't allow the wickedness of House Tellior to run rampant again.
It was only a thought, my lady. We know nothing for certain.
Indeed, and it will serve us not to conjecture endlessly. We need to flush these bandits out and hear it from their own mouths.
Aye, but even bandits value their own lives. They won't do anything rash, so long as the odds are against them.
Lord Serenoa! Bandits! They're everywhere!
What? Suppose these ones aren't the sharpest tools in the forge.
We must hurry.
My shop! Someone stop this madness!
Carry on screaming and sniveling! This land is ours now, and we'll do as we please!
You monsters!
Ha! Try me! I'll cut you down where you stand! And just what do you think you're doing?
You disgust me. Be gone from this place.
So, you've chosen death then?
Hold! Lest my eyes deceive me, is that not Sir Flanagan?
And what if I am?
'Tis him! The bloody shield in the flesh!
Former Black Iron Captain! Damn it all! Run for your life, you fool!
How far they have fallen. They confuse might for morality, and sully the duchy's good name.
Hail, soldier! I cannot thank you enough for coming to my aid.
'Tis instinct. I cannot abide such cruelty. Though I no longer call myself a soldier, it is the only station my skills afford me.
Milord, a man calling himself Flanagan requests an audience. Will you grant it?
Flanagan? The name sounds familiar somehow.
Ah, he fought in the tourney, didn't he? The one they call the Bloody Shield.
The Aesfrosti soldier. What brings him to me? Anyhow, send him in.
My lord.
Been a few moons, Bloody Shield.
And many more since I answered to that name.
Then what brings an Aesfrosti to us this day?
Words cannot bring back your countrymen, but I give them to you anyway. I condemn the Duchy's actions with every fiber of my being. Deeply ashamed am I of our Archduke's willingness to shed the blood of innocents. Meager though they may be, you have my sympathies.
So, you came all this way just to apologize? You're a strange one, all right.
I am well aware that words alone mean little. And that is why I offer my service, that my words might ring true.
Why House Wolffort? There are far greater armies that would give anything to have a warrior like you in their ranks.
I have no interest in further bolstering the might of Aesfrost or Hyzante. They trample the weak with no remorse. I will stand for it no longer.
And you think you can stand here and call us weak? You little...
You intrigue me, Sir Flanagan. But what of your title? Is your shield truly stained with blood?
It's a name given to me by men, nothing more.
You can trust he'll hold his own in battle if you take him in. One look is enough to tell you that.
A boon to our cause, then. Provided we ourselves do not become the very thing you despise. House Wolffort welcomes you, Sir Flanagan.
The feeling of intrigue is mutual. I am at your service.
You're two peas in a pod, aren't you?
Time to hand over the treasure.
Treasure? We are humble folk. There is no treasure here.
Don't play coy with us. We know it's here.
Yeah, no way Aesfrost would go through the trouble of hiding this book if there weren't no treasure.
You fool! Don't go blabbing all our secrets.
A book? What book? We didn't see no book.
A book? They stole a book from the archives?
Use your eyes and think. If we were hiding treasure, would we not avail ourselves some small portion of it?
I suppose.
Don't let his fancy words befuddle that thick head of yours. If they're just going to keep yapping on about having no treasure, we might as well drive him out and look for it ourselves. And if they get hurt in the process, they can't say we didn't warn them.
It is I who shall warn you. Cease this folly, and we will not punish you. This place falls under our rule, and we won't suffer bandits to harass our subjects.
We don't need the sufferance of some blue bloods. You'll regret crossing swords with me in mine. 'Tis your last chance. Hand over the treasure so we can all go home and Pa can stop his moaning about how we're so poor. Or don't hand it over and make it fun for us. We're coming for you either way.
At once!
All right, come on, come on! I'll be giving out bruisings for free!
Whatever treasure you seek, it isn't here. Leave now and save us all unnecessary trouble.
Shut your trap! That's exactly what someone with treasure would say, and we're coming for it!
Time to work. You won't catch me.
Ready for battle!
This battle is ours. Not another step!
Defeat is not an option.
I've been waiting for this!
Cool heads shall prevail. Be at ease.
My thanks. I'll take it from here.
I fight for peace.
Time for some research. I do not miss. Yes, very effective.
The heavens judge you! Tremble in fear!
At your command. Out of my way!
It's over!
Don't move and this'll all be over soon! You're wide open!
A wasted effort. Too obvious. This battle is ours. You're open. I will fight to my last breath.
Forward! Death from above!
I've been waiting for this!
Strike while the iron's hot.
Cool heads shall prevail.
I'm behind you. I am gracious. I will end this.
So, it falls to me.
I see through you. My research bears fruit.
My time is now. The heavens rage!
Ah! My turn. Victory is within reach.
Taste my shield!
Yeah. Sound strike.
I am at your back!
Are you in need?
Out of the way!
Together.
Ready for battle.
A wasted effort.
I ain't that slow!
Time to take flight. You'll get no mercy from us.
From where shall we strike? Ha! That hit the mark. Whatever it takes.
I'll hold fast here.
I shall use it well.
I've been waiting for this! You're in the way!
Your orders? I will leave you defenseless. I'll take this.
Here!
I shall do what I can.
Your wounds are healed.
Much appreciated.
Stubborn, greedy nobles! I'm not letting you besmirch my family name! I'm getting that treasure a tribute for poor old Pa!
You talk like he kicked the bucket, Trish!
Less yapping and more killing, if you please!
So, it falls to me.
Try this!
My time is now. Stay down! New power overflows within me.
Are you in need? This will serve. Give me strength.
The hunt is on. Darkness engulfs you.
Time to work.
For the honor of House Wolffort. Use this!
Well done.
For my kith and kin.
Make way!
Strike while the iron's hot. Leave it to me. An honor and a privilege to serve.
I've been waiting for this!
Shall we begin?
This is what I do. I can keep fighting! Allow me.
Now then, to work.
I see through you.
Yes, very effective.
My time is now. Now!
I stand ready.
On guard!
Time to work.
This is the end.
Take that! That worked,
Time to take
huh?
flight.
Goodbye!
Curses! Now I end this. have another! An honor and a privilege to serve.
Take that! I've been waiting for this! Enjoy!
Let me heal your wounds.
Allow me.
This will help.
The flames consume you.
I'll be fine.
Try this! I can keep fighting! Very well. Tremble in fear!
Time to work.
My time has come.
Point me at him!
Time to take flight. Not another step!
For the honor of House Wolffort. Now I end this. Now's my chance! Whatever it takes. Let's do this! Our victory is assured. I will follow you faithfully till the end.
I shall do what I can. Be at ease.
That's much better.
Your orders?
You won't beat me!
Allow me.
So, it falls to me.
Behold true power.
Make way! Point me at him! That worked,
Time has
huh?
come. You dare test my shield!
The hunt is on. Try this.
My turn. Victory is within reach! Sound strike.
It ain't over yet!
Forward!
Strike while the iron's hot. I'll hold fast here.
I can do it!
Come at me!
Damn, that hurt! Now what?
But my research!
Yeah! Ouch!
Shall we begin?
Allow me. You have my gratitude. The flames consume you! Very well.
Are you in need? Got you now! My work bears fruit.
Time to work.
You little...
Sound strike. This is the end.
You little... Son of a swine herder. I can't go back to Pa empty-handed.
It's over. You've lost.
No more of your little tantrums. Leastways if you like having your neck attached to your head.
Kill us if you want, you bloodthirsty bastards! We're getting that treasure! Mark my words!
Trish, stop this madness.
Pa? I told you to stay put!
And let you throw your life away? You always were too hot-headed for your own good, girl. You have my apologies for this whole mess. I'd ask you to spare our lives. But I know how the world works. Can't let bandits think they can raise and pillage with impunity. You need to make an example out of us. So take me, hang me, behead me, whatever you please. Just leave my daughter and my people their lives. I beg you.
Have you lost your mind? I was the one who led us here. Me!
Didn't expect this from the likes of you lot. I suppose even the most unsavory of us has love for their daughters.
Love her I do. Aye. She's got a bit too much of my foolhardiness in her, as you can see. She's in such a fervor to find this treasure so I can live my final days in comfort. Can't blame her for looking after her old man, can you?
Stop talking, Pa!
I'm the head of our band of ruffians, so if anyone deserves to answer for your sins, it's me, and me alone. From one leader to another, once again, I beg you, spare the others.
Then let's make a deal.
What sort of deal?
We shall pardon you and your kin and allow you to work in the Wolffort domain. But in exchange, would you serve House Wolffort? I would like you to help us find the treasure in this village.
Frederica.
I apologize for deciding this on my own, but there is some merit to this.
So you believe a treasure exists?
Of a sort, yes. It may be related to the salt crystal. We should at least take that possibility into consideration and investigate further.
So you're saying this this treasure might help everyone, not just the lucky few? If that's the case, then I'm happy to shake to that. Take me instead of Pa, or we're like to be as old as he is before we find the treasure.
Stop with the bluster. I'm as spry as a... Ah! My cursed back.
We all know about your back, Pa. Now go on and rest. The young blood'll take care of it from here. There comes a time when a daughter's got to pick up her pa's slack, and that's now. I won't hear another word on the matter.
You'll be the end of me yet, girl.
Like father, like daughter.
Do you find this agreeable, Jerome?
I do. There was no harm done to my village or my people.
Then the deal has been struck. Let's get started with the search, shall we?
Yes, my lord. Leave it to me.
I must say, your display of power was quite astonishing. One moment there wasn't a single cloud in the sky, and the next we were drenched to the bone. The townsfolk were certainly appreciative, and that means much in these trying times. Where did you learn such sorcery?
I was born with it, as were my forebears. In the far reaches of Hyzante, my people dwell, acting as shamans and summoning rain when the people cried for it.
You hail from Hyzante? I suppose we should count our blessings that you found your way to our ranks.
Ah, so you're Asano. We've heard tell of a witch using her dark arts to frighten the peasants into submission. Rest assured, we shall conduct a thorough investigation into these rumors. In the meantime, your presence is requested at the Hierophant's palace.
Rumors from whom? There are no dark arts being practiced here. And the people are not scared of me. I provide them rain when they require it. That is all.
Quiet, witch! Save your remonstrations for the Inquisition.
Is this their investigation? My guilt was decided ere they laid eyes upon me.
Perhaps they are threatened by the sight of the common folk huddled around your warming smile. The goddess of salt is a jealous mistress, after all, and her subjects cannot well suffer another to be so adored. It is as you said. If you appear before the Inquisition, you will surely be found guilty, and the punishment will be grave.
Then what recourse is left to me?
If the tentacles of the Church can reach this far, then nowhere in Hyzante is safe. We must flee our borders and go far from the gaze of the Zealots. It will be just as we promised each other. We'll start a new life, together.
Is that truly what you want? 'Tis hardly the new beginning we envisioned.
That matters not. Only that it is ours.
Very well. Then let us meet again at nightfall. You know where. Until then, my love.
I shall count the minutes till next we meet.
Alas, he did not come. Another victim of the Inquisition's tyranny. Had he never met me, would he still be alive today? Should I have said nothing and fled alone in the night?
I am sorry for your loss, but you mustn't blame yourself. 'Twas hardly your fault. And you do not know his fate for certain. He could very well still be alive.
Perhaps. I tried to seek him out, but there was little I could do with the Church's agents breathing down my neck. They burned down his home, and his family was never heard from again. I fear the worst. The goddess of salt must be named so for the tears she causes. She took everything from me. Her minions, all of Hyzante, they bear responsibility for my grief, and I aim to see that they answer for it. Although we have known each other only briefly, I sense a strong ally in you. Will you lend me your sword when the time comes?
Of course. Of that you can be certain.
Under this tree.
This here's the land of the Jax clan. Or used to be, more like. That clasp on your chest, that's their sigil, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a memento from my parents. Or so I was told.
Aye, now that I'm looking for it, I can see the resemblance. Same silvery hair and everything. Villages near here met with a pretty terrible fate. They begged the armies to spare their fields. The only one who listened was one of House Wollfort's bannermen. No one was surprised, big war hero that he was. But by the time we got here, the Jax had been all but exterminated. He was digging graves for the dead, enemy and all. A hero and a gentleman he was. Names on the tip of my tongue.
Benedict.
Aye, that was it. Do you know the man? I'd like you to pass on my gratitude, if you do.
Thanks for showing me the way.
Your coin's all the thanks I require. If that's all you'll be needing me for, I'll leave you to it.
You make a poor stalker.
Ain't exactly what I'm built for.
You fought in the battle here, didn't you?
Benedict swore me to secrecy. But suppose it ain't break an oath if you already know. Oh, but first I ought to tell you. You've the right to the truth. And those ain't my words. They're his. That's why he never tried to stop you from finding out about your parents.
You know of their fate?
We drove the enemy up the cliff top. Cornered him there. The same instant we cut their leader down, a babe cried out in the distance. In the hideout, we found you, all swaddled up. A letter pinned to you with that same clasp on your chest.
Live strong, Anna. Stronger than any. I see now.
Your family died at our hands. If it's vengeance you want, you can take it out on me.
That doesn't sound like the Eredor I know. Do you think so little of me? To assume I would forsake my friend, bloody my hands with revenge. I know the truth at last. That is enough.
Is it, Anna? Or are you forcing it to be?
Don't be a fool. Benedict is the one who raised me. If I ever want for a father, I know where to find him. When we've won this war, I shall make sure he understands that.
It's become late. We best keep an eye out for bandits.
You have a warrior's intuition. You needn't worry. I won't let us come to harm.
It takes no great intuition to see that this world is falling ever deeper into chaos. The reasons, however, remain elusive. Will we see our way safely through this darkness? I cannot say.
We have naught but our duty, and mine is to Prince Roland, whatever might become of House Wolffort.
I find your perspective refreshing. Although it may be direct, you walk the path you've chosen with confidence. On the other hand, I often feel that I'm fumbling. I had thought Gustadov to be a man of reason, but now I see that he will not hesitate to employ deceit to achieve his goals. In a manner of speaking, he and I are not so different. I, too, once hoped to have the influence to change the nation. At least, I told myself so. Really, all I wanted was to be free, and Frederica was simply a means to that end. As long as I had what I wanted, I had no great concern for what became of her.
Gila,
But this war has caused me to reconsider that. I realize that Frederica herself is worth caring for. She's not the sheltered princess I took her to be. Her wits are a match even for Benedict. She surprised me, and shamed me. I was wrong to underestimate her, to define her by her birth and station. She represents my greatest failures as a teacher, but also my greatest success. I see now there is no shame in serving another, and no shame in sacrificing my freedom for something greater. Oh, but perhaps I've shared overmuch. For some reason, I find it easy to talk with you.
the feeling is mutual. You are not so aloof as I thought.
I just had a thought. When the war is behind us, I may very well open my own school. Of course, you would be welcome to join me. I would be master of the classroom, and you could be master of the training yard. We could teach our students the art of hawksmanship. Our riders would be first class. What should our school be named? You will come and teach with me, won't you?
Not half so aloof as I thought.
So this book is gonna help us find the treasure.
That it will. We found it stuffed in the deepest, darkest recesses of the Aesfrosti archives. My thieving senses tell me it'll lead us to something that'll make us all rich.
Aesfrost's most confidential information is stored in the archives. There is definitely something of import in there.
Never thought I'd say this, but good steal.
It wasn't easy, but I had to. For sadly, it's locked up tight, and trust me, you won't be forcing that thing open. I tried.
I see. It's sealed with powerful magic.
Would we need another spell to counter the seal?
There's probably a key that can open it.
I had the same thought. It's probably nestled somewhere in this village.
What makes you say that?
Take a good look at the cover, and you'll see a map of Norzelia.
Indeed, there is. If this is the Norzelia River, then this must be the Wolffort domain.
In which case, those jewels are right on...
This village.
Exactly! We came here because we thought we'd find a way to open it.
Jerome, do you have any notion where it could be?
I've never seen a key that would fit in that sort of lock.
Are you sure it's not just coincidence?
It could be, but if it isn't...
Then the key is in this village. And the treasure in this book must be related to the Roselle. And it may shed light on the nature of the salt crystal.
Then let's search the village.
Salt crystal? Care explaining?
In due time. First, we find the key. And when searching for lost things, a thief can be most useful. Can we count on your assistance, Drish?
Sure you can, Chief. It's what our lot do best.
We've scoured the village but have found nothing that resembles a key.
However, our search wasn't entirely fruitless. Trish told us an interesting story from when she stole the book. Share with the others, if you will.
The book seems to be titled The Diary of Orlea. Or, at least, that's what the stuffy-looking attendant said it was. Didn't mean much to me at the time, but...
Orlea? But that's...
Yes. My mother. As you know, she led the uprising of the Roselle and laid the foundations of this very village after escaping from the source. It was sometime after that she met my father, the former Archduke.
Frederica, if indeed it was your mother who penned this book, then I believe you may already have the key.
Of course! The thing we've been searching for has been around my neck this entire time. It opened. So this was my mother's book.
Pray, read it for us, Frederica.
This is a legend handed down by the Roselle since times of old. It is the secret history of Norzelia. I, Orlea Roselle, am recording the legend here as the last keeper of these histories.
In ancient times, the Roselle lived in Centralia, a land to the distant south of Norzelia. It sat on the shore of the sea, a source that extended to the horizon and beyond. It was said to be a paradise, a place where people never wanted for salt. The Roselle knew more about salt than anyone, for it was a part of their everyday lives. In those days, Norzelia still rested at the bottom of the sea, but a cataclysm brought it to the surface, turning it into land. The sea dried up, and the small portion that remained is what we know today as the source. Eventually, many people migrated to the new land of Norzelia. They waged war over the source, wishing to get their hands on its precious salt. Our ancestors came to Norzelia in hopes of putting an end to the fighting. They knew that the salt still remained, even without the sea. It merely crystallized and sank deep into the earth. After all their searching, they unearthed a giant crystal. No, a very pillar of salt. They showed it to the people of Norzelia, told them that salt could be found beneath their very feet. However, those who had seized control over the source sought to reign over all of Norzelia by controlling the salt.
They, the holy state of Hyzante, attacked and slaughtered the Roselle. They hid the pillar, erased the existence of salt crystals, and imprisoned the surviving Roselle at the source. Thus we were branded sinners, criminals who wanted sole dominion over the land's salt. To justify their own monopoly, Hyzante created the goddess's teachings. But she needed a villain. To this very day, the Roselle are scorned, made to shed blood and tears, all in her name. But the goddess herself is proof of the Rosellan legends. I saw it with my own eyes during the uprising. Inside of her statue is the pillar of salt that was taken from our ancestors. But I could not expose the truth of the goddess. It took everything I had just to get a fragment. But that piece is the key to freeing the Roselle. It must be. For my brethren who continue to suffer for a crime they did not commit. The Holy State's teachings are false. The goddess's blessing spread across all Norzelia. The blessing of the true goddess. The blessing that shall be the key to the chains that bind our people. The blessing my mother spoke of was the salt crystal.
And the false teachings referred to salt existing outside the source. It would be the key to ending Hyzante's monopoly on salt. This has the power to change Norzelia as we know it, but it is not something we can recklessly proclaim.
But I cannot forgive Hyzante. They rewrote history with their false doctrines and continue to oppress the Roselle. All to maintain their power over salt.
We have the keys that can unlock the fetters that have bound us for so long. We need only find a way to use them.
We would need conclusive evidence. Right now, all we have is a salt crystal. We would not be able to prove that more salt lies beneath the earth, or even the truth of the goddess's statue.
I don't care how much time it takes. Can we not find out the truth?
House Wolffort is currently under the banner of Hyzante. We may be branded as rebels if the Holy State deems our actions as defiance of the goddess.
And so, history would repeat itself.
But my mother has given us a chance with this book. I cannot simply let it pass me by.
I understand how you feel, and the responsibility of House Wolffort to the Roselle. Please give me some time to think, Frederica.
Of course. I believe in House Wolffort, and in you, Serenoa.
You deserve credit as well, Lady Frederica. You and your mother are the reasons we can wield this truth. You are a friend of the Roselle, now and forever. Walk proud, with the knowledge that you have served your people well.
I shall. Thank you, Jerome.
There is none other I would trust to lead our people into the future. Where you go, we shall follow. Of that you have my word.
I shall count on it.
I think I follow you. These salt crystals, they're the treasure we're looking for?
Correct, and not a word to anyone of what's written in this book.
Mum's the word, promise. Guess that means you don't want any suspicious-looking fellows anywhere near this place. Now, I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but how'd you feel about leaving the protection of this village to Pa and the others? Decrepit as he is, he can still bust heads better than any rank-and-file troops. I can promise that much.
For what it's worth, I believe her. Her sort aren't known for lying.
As do I. Then I leave the protection of the village to Travis. I hope that's fine with you, Jerome.
The Roselle treat all creeds fairly, so long as we are treated fairly and kind.
Thank you for your understanding. Well then, we should return to the capital. I would consult with Benedict and Roland on this new turn of events.
Roland, Benedict, and Frederica regroup back in the capital. But what they experienced while they were away could very well alter the course of destiny itself.
What is so important you wish to speak to me alone?
Lord Serenoa, promise me you will remain calm. I come bearing grave news. Your Lord Father has passed.
What? But how? I thought he was recovering.
It was not the illness that took him, my lord. He was assassinated.
Assassinated?
Forgive me. I was unable to stop the villain.
Who would send someone to kill my father? And why?
It was Patriat of the Royalists. He believes House Wolffort a hindrance to King Roland's rule. No doubt, he meant to kill both you and your father in one fell swoop.
A hindrance? Pray tell me Roland was not involved in this plot.
I can assure you His Majesty knew nothing of this. But disclosing the truth would put us in a precarious position. At worst, it could lead to civil war. It is best you hide the fact of Lord Simon's assassination.
You want me to say he succumbed to his illness? How can I pay respect to my father with such lies on my lips?
My lord, your father entrusted me with one final order.
What did he say?
He asked me to tell you the truth.
The truth about what?
I ask you to listen calmly, my lord. You are not Lord Simon's son by blood. Your true father is King Regna. His Majesty sired a child out of wedlock with the Lady Destra. That child is you. Lady Destra lived in the Crown City, but she was not a woman of means. Someone of her position could never hope to marry a king, or indeed keep her head once the Royalists discovered what had happened. Lord Simon knew this, and so he welcomed her and the baby in her belly to House Wolffort. He and I were the only two who knew her secret. We had intended to carry it with us to our graves. But in his last moment, Lord Simon bade me give this to you.
The royal signet of Glenbrook.
King Regna entrusted it, and you, to Lord Simon, as proof of your place in the royal line.
Is this truly who I am?
I know it may be difficult to accept.
No, I believe it. I have never known you to speak false to me. Thank you for telling me what my father wished me to know.
You would still call him father?
He raised me as his own. And besides, I must keep up the pretense in front of the others. Especially in front of Roland. This stays between us, Benedict. We must keep the truth of my parentage and this ring safe.
Of course, my lord. As you command.
Is there something on your mind, Roland?
Serenoa, I do not know what I should do.
Did something happen in the capital?
No, that problem has been dealt with. I've made sure those damned royalists will never cause trouble again.
Was such harsh punishment truly necessary?
Of course it was. When they should have been helping to rebuild the kingdom, they instead profited off the people's hardship. And on top of that, they sought to string me up as their puppet king.
I understand, but...
You know what they told me? They said that is what Glenbrook truly is. That it must be ruled with the royalists' careful mediation between the royal family and their loyal subjects. They said good kings need not think for themselves. They said my father and my brother understood that.
Even if that is true, you have the power to change it.
I tried. That is the entire reason I took the throne. But nothing has changed. No matter how many corrupt aristocrats I've cast out, this kingdom has always been broken. Aesfrost's invasion just ensured we could never put the pieces back together. I do not have the strength to reconcile a land and people torn apart by hatred and greed. I cannot give Glenbrook what it needs, king though I may be.
Roland.
Apologies, my friend. I should not burden you with my woes.
You burden me with nothing. But if you are struggling...
All is well. Trust me. So long as you are by my side.
That is the extent of what happened during our various endeavors. The passing of my Lord Father, the Royalist scandal, and the book that revealed the truth about the Roselle and the Salt. It is time we consider what we shall do to overcome these obstacles facing us.
I still cannot believe how quickly Lord Simon's condition worsened.
It is most devastating. Serenoa, did your father say nothing else to you? Before he...
He bade me lead House Wolffort well.
I see. Then we must all do what we can to help you honor that request.
Your Majesty, what do you plan to do about the royalists who misappropriated supplies?
As far as I've been able to discern, those involved acted out of greed and self-interest. They must all be punished. Nothing less than exile from the kingdom or execution will suffice.
But there are those among them who support the Glenbrook line. Will that not impact your governance?
Perhaps. But to pardon their crimes would kindle the people's ire. We must make an example of them. To appease the people. To make clear the consequences of engaging in such foolhardy behavior.
Did something else happen in the capital, King Roland?
Nothing you need concern yourself with. But I must say, I was shocked to learn of that Rosellan legend. Do you suppose the contents of that book could be true?
The part about their homeland, Centralia, that sits upon a vast saltwater sea? That of the untapped salt crystals beneath Norzelia? Or that, in order to monopolize the salt trade, Hyzante fabricated the Roselle's sins? That the pillar of salt Hyzante stole from the Roselle is hidden within the statue of the goddess? If any of it is true, it would turn everything we know on its head. It would mean the teachings of the Holy State are not but lies.
It does sound unbelievable, but we have already seen part of this legend for ourselves.
The crystal from the Rosellan village?
That crystal is a fragment from the pillar within the statue of the goddess. One my mother obtained during the uprising.
It fits perfectly.
Apparently, Lady Orlea penned the book detailing the legend for Frederica.
She did. She enchanted it so no one could open it, but left me the key to break the spell. This pendant.
I doubt a mother would go to such lengths to lie to her daughter.
Then we agree the legend contains at least a seed of truth.
Your Majesty, we have received word that the survivors of the Duchy's army are amassing.
What? Where?
At the Grand Norzelian mines. But we cannot be sure what they are doing. None of our scouts have returned.
Those frosty dogs. We will speak later, Serenoa. First, we must put down whatever the Duchy is planning at the mines. I need you and your people beside me.
Of course. We shall ready ourselves for the battle at once.
Extraction is nearly finished. We've secured the amount we were told. Seems such a waste to just leave the rest.
Don't think Archduke Gustadolf gives two shites. Hurry it up. We need to be done here before Glenbrook catches on to us.
Sir.